match number 2. Well, you could get lost in all that basketball, couldn't you?
You sure could. And Sue electing to have Carol finish on the right lane, 36, as that is not the better of her 2 lanes. So she's making her start on 35, and hopefully she'll have to finish over on 36 if she needs some strikes. That's not her better lane.
All right. We'll see how that strategy works here in game number 2. Michelle Mullen has qualified second. Dee Dee Davidson waiting in the wings to bowl 1 game for $9,000 here this evening. And Carol Norman starts with a strike in game number 2.
That ball finishing very hard, going high, tripping the 4-7. She has a lot of carry. She told me this week that carry was incredible. So
there's one thing that she has done well over the last couple 3 weeks is it's get out to a very quick start and get her opponents down quickly. Sue Neidig's first shot, and she comes out striking on lane 36. Really was fun 3 weeks ago when she won her first title, and she went through a very talented field. She was the underdog in every single match.
She sure was, and she's got to feel real comfortable out there this week, I think, after winning that title. And just like I said earlier, she's just happy to be here.
Sue averaged 222.4 for the week and also posted the best match play record, 19-5.
And that's the best of her career.
Up through the nose and a split in the second frame.
Sue elected to go with a ball that hooks a little bit earlier than the one she had used most of the week. And that ball hooking just a little too soon, coming up high, leaving the 410.
Any realistic chance at making this?
There were a few of these made this week. Getting the ball to slide across. She's changed balls to get it to slide across the lane more.
What a run by Sue Neidig. But she opens up in the second frame as we're in match number 2, Carol Norman and Sue Neidig. Carol Norman at this point in time in the second, leading by a dozen.
Carol Norman, one of the better mental players. She works a lot, reads motivational books, listens to a lot of tapes, and she just usually goes with her feelings, which most of the time you're going to find are right.
A little more room on the right-hand lane. Perhaps she's changing her angle just a little bit, and she ends up with the 3-pin. I mean the 2. Get myself confused here. That's what 2.5 weeks on the road will do for you.
She let that ball out quite a bit farther than she had been, and it did almost get back. So looks like maybe the lane's starting to open up a little for her now.
Which they are prone to do over 2 or 3 or 4 games in the championship round.
Especially under the television lights. The heat of the light helps evaporate the conditioner.
Really a fun young lady, somebody that really enjoys competing, represents the tour about as well as you could imagine. And
as was evidenced by the players voting her
sure
the Robbie Award this year.
5 championships, and this is her 26th appearance in the championship round. Overall record now 28 wins and 20 losses. Well, both players now have had a problem with the left-hand lane.
That ball also hooking earlier. Actually appeared as though it came off her hand a little early. Ball coming up very high, straight through the middle, 4-6-10.
And quickly, Carol Norman goes to a piece of tape, so I think you might be right, Jan. She probably lost that shot.
The ball comes off your hand a little early, it gets into a roll a little too early, and will hook sooner.
I guess one of the toughest things would be, Jan, to know when you need to put a piece of tape in before disaster strikes. I mean, do you get that kind of a feel?
Sometimes you get caught right in the middle. You know the ball is getting a little bit large on your hand, but you also know that if you add a piece of tape, you may hang up a little bit for 1 or 2 shots. So it's a hard decision to make.
Both players with an open frame here in game number 2. Sue Neidig comes right back with a strong strike on lane 36, and she'll try and double up and make it a 12-pin lead. There you see the run that she had, winning in Hemet, California.
You know, I asked her about her 19-5 match play record, and she was just saying that, matter of fact, she's ranked second right now on tour, and she was saying that her game has just improved so much that she has so much more confidence. It's easier for her to win the matches just by sheer confidence.
Yeah, she's 32-19-1 now overall on the tour. Ooh, wanted that one desperately, because that's when you put the hammer down a little bit. When your opponent opens, you come up there and double and really grab them.
Really could have put some pressure on, but she made the adjustment off the last shot. Now she came light, so next time she's going to go right in between those two.
Work at hand, though. And a spare up. Nicely done by Sue Neidig. And she appears to have loosened up considerably since that first victory.
She looks much looser. You see her laughing. We didn't see that at all the first time.
A lot of stress and a lot of strain after 13 years out there without a victory.
Well, you begin to doubt yourself. People doubt you. It's hard.
Wide again on the right-hand lane. So Carol Norman still in the process of trying to fine-tune lane 36.
Well, the lanes are probably changing a bit now as the conditioner's carrying down. Carol being the only right-hander. There's only 2 games on the right side, 2 games on the left side, so they're both probably experiencing the same carry down right now.
Another spare for Carol Norman, and she'll try and get something started on lane 35. And don't forget, we've got the Lipton International Players Championship tennis action coming your way on ESPN. 8 days of coverage featuring the top 2 men and the top 2 women in the world. Of course, Jimmy Courier is the defending champion, Monica Seles as well. So the Lipton International Players Championship live on ESPN. Well, let's see how Carol Norman serves and volleys this trip.
And we see her match play record was only 12-11-1. Knocked down a lot of pins to get to the telecast.
It's like one of those Giannotti match play records where you average 225. Oh, no, not the solid 7-pin. I think the 4-pin climbed halfway up the neck, and it still didn't go down.
It sure did. It flew up and around the 7-pin. And take a look at this shot going straight up 8, coming in very hard. Look at the 4-pin, straight up in the air, kicking the top of the 7-pin. Terrible break.
Like it might have been the 2-pin, too, that caught a piece of it. Wow. Best shot of the night for Carol Norman. And she'll have to settle for a solid 7-pin spare. And this is still a very close match, though. Sue Neidig leads by just 3 pins.
And I'm sure Carol's going to sit down and put that behind her. Something she works very hard on, never looking back and never looking forward. Just looking at the one shot she's making.
Has to be tough to do at times.
Easy to say, right?
Yeah.
But tough to do.
It's been a good lane for Sue Neidig. At least it was until now, as the 7-9 just stands there and presents a real problem on the right-hand lane.
And that's a bad break. That happens when the ball deflects. The ball doesn't actually drive hard enough. The ball will deflect off the head pin, hitting the 5-pin too light, sliding it across in front of the 9-pin.
Second open frame for Sue Neidig, who trails by 10. Michelle Mullen is next in line. Dee Dee Davidson, the final left-hander, is our top seed this week. And then the ladies will have 4 weeks off and start again in Alexandria, Louisiana, with the first championship round appearance being April 9th. And then it's 8 consecutive weeks. So
That's right. And that first tournament's at our executive director's bowling center.
Mm-hmm. Well, you get a chance to go home for a whole month then. Better shot, better reaction, and much better carry for Sue Neidig. Carol Norman leads by 10. Will she extend that lead? Well, don't go away. Come on back, and we'll find out here from Inca Lanes in Yuma, Arizona.